Hey y'all, we're back out in the garage here. Just a quick one tonight. We got everything back together here. Couldn't be happier with this English to metric brake setup here. No binding, no rubbing, no nothing, no contact whatsoever, no interference. Couldn't say that about the stuff we took off. Look how nice that turns. I mean, we've got chain on. The brakes are pumped up. I mean, that's, she's ready to go on the racetrack. So we got all that back in place, ready to go. We got a couple more things to tie down here before we can drop the seat in. We got the water temp block and new probe on. Ran the wiring, put a new battery in it, got everything tidied up there, so she's ready to go here. Just got to get the seat back in it. What we're working on now is the headrest bit that I was telling you about. Which is going to be a perch to hold the back of your helmet up, which is going to keep the front of it down so we won't have to pull it down anymore, which is going to get us looking down the track all the time instead of looking up at the stars when we hit the bumps. And we're going to get something that wraps around, not as far around as these Yamaha kart guys are using, and not as high up the middle of the helmet as they're using. Something down lower on an angle to fit the contour of our helmet. So what we did is we got one of these angle deals here. First thing we wanted to do was find a relatively happy spot from here. It's not exact science, right? We know the two seats are different. That one's going to be a lot deeper than this one. So what we're doing is we're going to measure from here out to a flat spot out here. So what we did is we found a relatively flat square area and measured out, and it's about 14 inches to that line right there, right? So then we came over to the F125 seat. We put a piece of tape down in here, and we moved that angled thing back and forth in here till we were about 14 inches. Obviously, the seat's deeper, and what I'm getting at is the reason we're trying to find this happy spot is what we're going to do is we projected this surface out to that angled piece to see how the difference in depth was. Because we did all of our setup with this here on this seat in this go-kart. Rich laid in it. His helmet was here or here. When he laid in there 2 or 3 different times, we came up with a spot where this is the back of the seal, the rubber edge seal on his helmet. This is the back of mine. So for some reason, he's got more neck than I do, I guess. It's a little further back than mine. So this was the height we both liked. It held our helmet down, had us looking down the racetrack, and so what have you. So what I did is I first went ahead and projected that surface off the F125 seat, and it came about this high. The four-banger here from this surface here is way down here. And then with this whole setup on, it came out about here. So let me grab the tape measure and show you the difference in that. I think the F125 was about 7 1/4, 7 1/2 high. 7 1/2, little to about 7 5/8, right? So the four bang is way down at like 5 5/8. So it's about 2 inches different. We're not quite that. We're a little over that here. So what we're trying to do is knowing that, we're at 8 1/2 with this here. So really a difference of only about an inch, right? About an inch different between the height of this here with this shallower seat than the deeper seat with nothing on the F125, which means why am I doing all this? I told you the setups were going to be very similar, right? The same templates for the perch and the bit that's going to go around. This would be our template for the radius, not nearly that far around the helmet. I think we're going to take probably 2 inches off of each side of this thing, and it'll be down here on a more of a bank turn looking angled tapered bit, kind of like rolling a pipe, as I mentioned to Bob today. Hey, Bob, back still not feeling all that well, but I had to get out here and get something going. So we wanted to get everything set up and figure out what the difference in our perch or booster height here that we're going to rest our helmet on with the deeper seat is. And I think what we found is it's going to be about an inch. So we might even be able to do it on mine, on this seat here. We might even be able to use a piece of wood, cover it with some of this felt, and put some foam underneath it like we did in this portion of my seat here. It's all foam right here, folks. See how nice and cushy that is? Here, fiberglass. Here, foam. So it's nice and cushy for that when you're laying down, you get those knobs in your neck, you know, and man, you get on a rough racetrack and that thing will start beating you up. So that's why we went with that setup on this seat. You can see it from the back side where we actually inlaid that right into the seat. We made the seat and that extra depth. So when we put the foam in, nobody would know it was there. So that's where we're at right now. We're just trying to get an idea of perch or booster height on this seat because it's so shallow. It's really got to be up kind of high. And we'll make that complete piece out of aluminum. I'm thinking we're going to bolt it here, so it's going to come this way, up, maybe up on an angle, since it doesn't need to really be any more forward than, say, here. Just far enough for me to get my helmet on it. We can go all the way to here. Angled, right? Angled back and with a break in it here. So we'll bolt it here. We'll bolt it here. And then this piece will actually come up and come out either direction in a bowl shape. A lot of finesse. It's a lot of template making. It's just pattern making. I'll run you through this whole thing. It's not that difficult. You can't do it in 2 dimensions. You literally got to think and see in 3 dimensions. The wonderful thing about being a pattern maker and a model maker and a clay guy and a composite guy and a fabricator was before I did all that, I was a body man. So if you can close your eyes and work with your hands and feel surface and see it with your hands, you get a much bigger head start on the rest of the field, man, when it comes to seeing something and knowing what you want to make and literally making it reality. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. This deal here, this added fiberglass bit on the F-125 seat, super long, so it should be no problem coming up with something that'll hold our expansion tank here that won't have anything to do with our headrest at all, and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's where we're at tonight. Like I said, the back is killing me. I got the lidocaine patches on. I've been in the house taking it easy all day. Old L3 is killing me, man. It's hurting today. So just wanted to come out and run you through what we packaged up last night, finished up, tidied up. It's probably why my back hurts, because the cart's a little low, and I was bent over it all day yesterday messing around. So she's good to go. She's ready to go. We're getting excited. Hopefully, if everything works out, we'll be able to get to Nelson next weekend and run one of these carts, if not both. I'd like to be able to take both in the trailer and spend a 3-day weekend just forgetting about the madness of the world, you know what I mean? And just try to have some fun and hang out with my Kumbas. That's it, folks. We're praying for you. That's all I got for you. I mean, that's all I can really do. The world's out of control, and we're just trying to have a little fun before it all falls apart. That's it. Love you. Praying for you. God bless you. Godspeed. Hang in there, folks. We'll bring you some more.